In consideration of the mental health of viewers, I preface this video with the trigger warning as my Beauty with a Purpose has mentions of sexual assault. Every year, 1 in 5 women will be sexually assaulted. This means, on average, 11 Miss World America participants tonight have likely dealt with the same pain, whether in the form of assault, harassment, coercion, or pure discomfort at the hands or words of another person. In college, I became a part of that statistic. As a journalism major, I wished I could use my words to speak up about how I and so many others had been wronged, but until that courage was discovered, I focused on my studies. I combined my passion for storytelling with my love for sports, although being a woman in sports isn't easy. My sports knowledge and credibility was questioned, and my goal was to prove that I belonged in a so-called man's world, until that world of mine was turned upside down. While conducting a locker room interview, after ignoring a series of catcalls, a male athlete exposed himself to me. Old feelings returned. I again felt betrayed, belittled, and disrespected. I left the sports industry because of this and told myself that it was time to stop standing on the sidelines of advocacy. I had to turn my pain into power. After this epiphany of sorts, divine intervention took place, putting me in positions to tell my story and help others along the way. I spoke to the Hampton University Sexual Discrimination and Misconduct Committee. I created an on-campus campaign, which now serves as my Beauty with a Purpose project, Operation SASH, Sexual Assault Stops Here, a call to action to stop secrecy, demand accountability, offer support and healing for survivors of sexual assault. I served as a resident assistant to underclassmen, focusing my programming on sex versus sexual assault. Around this time, #MeToo became prevalent, and an open letter that I wrote to my assailant turned into an open letter writing campaign on campus, one of the ways I discovered I wasn't the only one who my assailant had victimized. On average, 60% of on-campus sexual offenders are serial offenders, yet they aren't penalized for their actions. I spoke on this and more on a Making Contact podcast, leading to other opportunities for me to speak on these injustices.
I started figuring out that obviously I wasn't alone and it wasn't just me. So I had to try to figure out in some way, shape, or form how to be that voice and how to come out about this situation because it was happening to other people.
As I began planning my first campus-wide SASH event, I received more news that would change the trajectory of my life. While on Christmas break, I received a call from my dermatologist following an appointment. I had been diagnosed with basal cell carcinoma, a form of skin cancer. I had to undergo surgery and was advised to stay home in Michigan to recover, but I insisted on returning to Virginia to continue my education and advocacy. With approval, I went back to campus with specific self-care and medical instructions. I told myself that my purpose was bigger than sexual assault and cancer, and these roadblocks wouldn't stop me. Since graduating, I've went on to host workshops providing safe spaces for survivors to cope, grieve, and heal. I've become a peer counselor and received my mental health first aid certification. I advocate for the respect of Black women's bodies through several journalistic and political fellowships, and my work has caught the eye of women's rights advocates, specifically Tarana Burke, founder of the Me Too movement, and Tamika Mallory, co-chair of the Women's March on Washington, and I was invited to participate in a survivors rally on Capitol Hill.
Be supportive of survivors. If you aren't, you're doing them an injustice, and ultimately, you're in the wrong. If you're a bystander, you're wrong. If you doubt someone who says they were assaulted, you are wrong. Victim blaming, you're wrong. I shouldn't have to say this, but if you have had unconsensual sex with someone, and somehow their stop to you meant go, you are a rapist and you are wrong. Yes. We must break the stigmas of sexual assault.
I'm grateful that SASH taught me how to speak up, raise awareness, stop when I need to, and heal myself before helping others. I hope it does the same for you. RAIN, the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, is the nation's largest anti-sexual violence organization. Help is free, confidential, and available 24/7. Call 1-800-656-4675 or visit hotline.rain.org/online to chat with a professional.